It's time to take a short break from random ladies and concentrate on one person in particular. I hadn't left Rocky intentionally this late in the piece. I knew I'd written quite a bit for her, and I've thrown in at least half a dozen poems into other episodes, thinking that I'd somehow already covered a year and a half of glacial advances and flash flood erosion in my relationship with this particular geologist. We just don't seem to talk together anymore. I can't get a response, no matter what I do. What happened to the love we used to have before? It isn't me. I guess somehow it must be you. This silence is an agony we seem to share with relish, as it's all that's left for us to keep. I want to hold you close, but you're never there. I want to talk, and you just seem to fall asleep. Whatever pain I've caused you have to keep inside can't be explained by anything that comes to mind. Whatever sent this love into its downward slide is lost to me. Or can it be that I'm so blind? I wonder if you're listening to me right now, pretending that these words could never meet their mark. But I know I will get my feelings through somehow. Two lovers, only separated by the dark. 2 windows gap. My voice won't reach across the space between, it seems, except perhaps when crying out to distant love within my dreams. 2 different views on life, so close but always just as far apart. It might amuse her that my eyes are always turned to see her heart. We dance along the corridors in conversations, pleasantries in passing, never signing that we harbour words much more than these, and then I run to fill my pages with the love I have to feel alone, and think swift meetings in cramped spaces somehow seem less real. Despondent framed to stare at what she also sees with other eyes, I've lost all hope so many times I bolster up my dreams with lies and send my words on wings so light they surely could not bridge the space between our lives to softly light a fleeting smile upon her face. 2 windows gap, a world away when words are trapped in poetry too heavy to be flung between or sung. No, she will never see the heart that longs to pull her close and whisper tender in her ear my words of love, to hold her dear and only dream to hold her near. The rose love buds forever, so I gave to you a bloom so red you blushed in your acceptance, smiled with petal lips I longed to kiss. No words had touched your heart to stain your face with colour such as this. I saw you crush the flower to your breast, that it was me instead. So daily I would lay before you roses that will last forever, love that you could see but never know the scent of from a distance. With such delicate attacks I hope to break down your resistance, keeping still the arsenal of words, the rhyme thought far too clever. Dethorned and artificial was the vow I gave, but could I keep the heart between the roses growing in the light of love I'd shown, discarding words for action in the only fertilizer known, and hoping I could offer more than flowers, dream beyond my sleep? A soft caress, the gentle touch of rose petals against the skin, the colour of our springtime, and a warmth sincerely hoped will last. The words were thorns, the pricks that pained us in the searching of the past, and now we hold the love of roses always budding deep within. I hear that you've returned. I guess I'll see your smile before too long, look deep into your ever-laughing eyes so bright, remembering how lonely I have been. You know a poet's heart was never strong enough to cope with distance when in love. But now I want to sing. There is a burden lifted such as never weighed me down before, a lightness to my being in the vision of your sparkling eyes. I need you never leave, but I can hold you close forevermore, a longing that I'd hidden, but no longer can I, love, disguise. There's never been a moment when you were not foremost in my mind, and now that you're before my eyes, I love you more and need to touch your fond reality, and hope you won't again leave me behind. From absence I've learned appreciation for our love too much. Now tell me of your journeying. What new-found wonders have you seen? I'm jealous of each heart you met, and wish for every place you've been. I keep this love to sleep with when alone, to hold through nights so cold inside I have to hide within the skin of dreaming, always seeming then to cling to some thin chance that gives no promise of romance, yet hope still lives. She doesn't know, you see, and so I go about my day as if there is a way to show her how she fills my nights. Some day I might, my conscience plays the tune "It Isn't Right" upon those same heartstrings she plucked when she brings light into my life sometimes, and leaves me rhyme to write when she has gone. Though I'm alone, I have this love to keep, and if I leap ahead sometimes, I'll wait for her to climb this high and share love's fate, the two to fly through dreams and be together in eternal sleep, that final state where love will have the two of us to keep. Such wasted love. What can I do for these desires I have of two who never seem to notice me? A heart that never can be free, self-trapped within the poetry that thrives on love that cannot be. Such love as theirs I never knew, and never will. I know that's true. In one, companionship I see, someone who's waited long like me. I feel that she is lonely too, but she accepts that life, that view. The other is a lover, true, but loves another, so I rue those moments she will spend with me in all her bright felicity. Though either one I long to woo, there's neither who would love me too, and so, of she alone and she attached, no romance comes to me. So hear these words and pity me. Two loves to live in chastity, and I between to keep in lieu a love of none from love of two. I live with my anxiety within these lines of poetry. Such wasted love, yet all I do is write about such love for two. Ignoring me, I'm sure she sees me less for who I am these days. She strolls away, and I wave to my heart that follows in her wake. No matter that she's far away by now, I know the feeling stays. Her loss and my frustration, more than any poet's words can take. I wait until the ink dries on the page before I make a vow to here remain where all I am fades in the time to her return. But even those in love alone must learn to carry on somehow, and now I know to curb all the advances she is wont to spurn. There was a time I dreamt of walking hand in hand, but that has passed. I've cast my dreaming wider with the hope that there is still a chance to hold her in a net of words a little stronger than the last. But she still passes through with eyes denying any new romance. Invisible in everything I do, continuing to try to make her love me who ignores me but could never tell me why. How far away you have become. I do not know now where you are. If you have run away again in fear, or hide quite close at hand. I've always thought of you as shining, but as distant as a star. Where is your light behind those clouds of doubt that cross this loveless land? Dreams bring you close sometimes, but when we're sitting here in one small room, I have to ask if sleep can keep you in my heart, when everything I try in waking hours to bring a smile's response leaves us in gloom. But to my hope for clarity and moonless nights I'll always cling. Where do you go within the mind I cannot reach? Where are you now? Why do you close your eyes and lock the world outside, and thereby me? There has to be a way to touch your loneliness so close, somehow, but you can look right through me like the chance you do not have to see. Still sparkling as you drift away, I make a wish, and then I doubt it can be granted, failing luminescence as you turn away. I pray your heart finds love, and on a whim I put my candle out and hope that we can find each other smiling on another day. We drift into the corners where we'll never have to talk, to touch you as you shine so brightly, me because I love your light so much. If you have changed your heart, then say, and know that I have not changed mine. The love I had expressed so many times before could never fade, and by that hope I live, although your eyes for me may never shine. Your choices lay before you, while it seems that mine were always made. And never will I turn away as long as I have breath to say I'll always love, and wait in case these words at last get through to you. Upon the strength of that bright dream, the heart of me will want to stay, and dwell in that forbidden land of love you never really knew. If there is anything that I can do to turn your heart my way, then say so, as I need each chance to prove my love to you complete. I've given you such signs and portents, running out of things to say. Now only stand in silence, gaping. Strong the love in faint hearts beat. But even if you say your heart may never change, I will remain this much in love forever, bearing silently this loveless pain. I dreamt that, bird-like, I could fly in through your window above mine, and sing until your heart was filled with all the things I cannot say. By morning light I thrilled you, caught still winging as your eyes did shine, alighting from your ledge in brightened happiness, to fly away. I hoped that lightly, like me, you would follow out into the sun, and we could fly with innocence together through the dew-wet trees. And when I turned around to smile, I realized I was alone, and faintly did the echo of a wasted song slip on the breeze. Could I return and call again, implore you to enjoy the flight of simple birds by morning light? Or should I take your answer there? What dreams I have of you and I together only last at night, and there is love and wide blue skies and birdsong we will never share. If you can hear me singing still, it's from my window comes the noise, a cage-bound bird with words of love that will not find another voice. I used to think I wrote these words for you and only you. It's true, I filled these pages with a kind of love you never knew. But really I was writing solely and for me, so lonely me. Too often I've been blind to truth and things you couldn't see. Those words were wasted, pasted up and sent to you. They meant to you less than the paper thick with ink, no thought for hearts so blue. But how could you see through my need, my poetry with imagery that should have been a joke, but for all my sincerity? I have faced the truth in any case. I know I never had a clue on how to show my feelings, truly, how to court or woo. I only ask forgiveness, knowing, as you must, I'll always be here waiting for a change of heart to come and set me free. A poet I will always be, and always be in love with you, although these words continue, love will silent be in lieu. I'll love in words and hope in time I'll love more than your memory. Such lonely lines, if only you could come to loving me. Beneath your window I have crooned the same old song, my love of you, in frequencies you're not attuned to, so it seems I waste my time. But in reality I practice all the words I want to do, if you would ever let me act on all the love I've left in rhyme. Beneath your window stands a heart who waits and will not be deterred too easily unless you start to listen to the things I say. I have such love inside, I sing for hours at length just to be heard, and then I rest, an ear to cling to any noise of where you lay. So lives this troubadour of yours, on only inspiration's pay I'll sing to one who still ignores my every word, spurned on by light and carried on when there is none to sing you with sleeping till the day, and then dream myself away alone to serenade again by night. Beneath your window, if you saw, there is a man that wants to take you in his arms forevermore, or wait there till his heart might break. If I could show you all the words I never meant for you to see, then would your change of heart be heard? Then could you fall in love with me? If in reaching out I touched you, would you turn away in fear, or let me find you out so much I'd want to stay forever near? There's so much love I want to share, laid out in secret poetry, and so much time, if you might care, to read it to you, hopefully. Each crafted line is there to show my feelings and to make more clear the reasons that you do not know that I would want to hold you dear. If I believed all this was true, perhaps you will believe in me the way my heart believes that you will read of love eventually. Here are the words I've tried to hide, and know that they are not the mere encapsulation of lost pride, each letter forming from a tear. Words falling out upon the page, and all in hope that you might see love waits for you at every stage, if only you would wait for me. We used to converse. Was there ever a time when we couldn't? Now things are amiss. I can write up in verse your inelegant crime. Silence, what have I done to deserve this? Certainly we have strayed from each other, a fading friendship that's never been bliss, but the face that you made had me thinking no way have I done enough to deserve this. That you even had nerve to deny me a place in your loneliness, something remiss, and I'll never know why, though I believe 'twas not I who'd done something to ever deserve this. And I know it's too late to be asking, irate as you are, for a chaste parting kiss. I can see in your eyes your most caustic reply. Oh my, what have I done to deserve this? Without manners to please, I retired by degrees, there to watch her alone as she sat, and accepted a stranger with some facial changes, as if I deserved to see that. Had I bothered her so, would I ever then know why she'd swatted me off as a gnat, when spring'd hardly set in, and not close to her skin for an image deserving of that? Then she'd not look my way, and with nothing to say I had all my responses down pat, if she changed from so rude and so strange attitude back, and I'm not deserving of that. Though she gave me good reason, it still wouldn't please me for sending me off like a prat. No, I'll leave all unspoken for hearts newly broken, when neither's deserving of that. I contemplate a memory of someone who meant more to me than anything I do these days, and anyone I've known since then. She was my love, my life, my greatest loss. She was the world to me, and now she's gone. A ball of hope clenched tight within my heart I cope with like a cross. What used to be the most important thing to me is lost with all the fading years that pass. And as I look into the glass, I see myself now so much less than what I was, with all this loneliness. Whatever soft caresses I remember touch the senses of another, and forever is a thing I'd rather face without that pain. I'll wait to find a way away from all this rage, these ramblings on a page brought on by some misunderstanding long ago. And now I long for something more, that one thing that I know for sure I didn't quite find at that time, so haven't left behind. She walks into my life sometimes still, a reminder of the binding of two hearts in love that turns to ill, remainder of spent thrill. A kind of soft remorse kills off all thoughts of turning to her once again to say the things that have remained upon my mind. And she would claim that's all there ever was. Sometime I'll take the pain and make me whole again by filling up that hole she left behind. Some day I'll be the same as when I was in love, or else I'll lose all peace of mind in trying to regain my life from memories I contemplate alone. Long she's been gone, but stronger are the feelings that she left than all she got while I still held her in my arms. But that's the lot of every muse I've ever known, and so the love that I have lost. That fate would separate by words unsaid that I cannot regret and cannot turn away from yet. We'll always have the coffee, rich aroma flooding up to fill my nostrils, deep in possibilities the thoughts that still remind me what we used to be, froth fraught with tender moments meant to last us, slowly then all growing cold. The love we poured over at a table lain for two, our teaspoons tangled in the words, was more than hot air rising in between, closer than our leaning in for fear of missing anything. What we stirred up was never settled, barely finished sipped emotion, staring longingly with liquid half forgotten. We drank together, of each other, for the pleasure of true lovers, memories to treasure now forever in my lonely times. Table for one in a dark corner of our place, where half-hearted waitress smiles can't be ignored so easily any more. The pleasure of company is the stain around a spent cup, the strain of lifting all that loneliness up. Slow sips will never seem the same again, now solo, but we'll always have the coffee. Back in the day, we used to have a term for that kind of poetry, or that kind of expression or feeling. You could say that I was munted, and I'll leave that to the reader to contemplate.